It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Robbins.
Welcome into Veterans Issues. We are brought to you by the Red, White, and Blue and Kia stores of Anniston and Rainbow City. Today's we're going to talk with some folks at Chee-Haw Bank. We're going to talk about veterans and grants. So stay there and get you a pen. Be right back. Welcome into Veterans Issues. Appreciate you tuning in today. Appreciate you tuning in every week here. We got two guests today, and it's Alan Easterwood and Megan Moore from Chee-Haw Bank, and we're going to talk about grants for veterans. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to find out. Anytime I hear the word for grants and veterans, I like to, either one of those words sounds good to me, so we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Thank you,
Ken. Oh, you're good. Look, did you see that? That was one of them. She blew me up before I had a chance. It's great to have you on here today. Yeah.
Thank you.
When you notified me having this grant program, Megan, you notified me. You might have been doing it for Alan, I don't know, but whatever. And y'all jump in, whichever one's got the answers. But this program, it's a grant for veterans, and tell me about what it is. Just short, brief.
Okay.
What it's about.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for letting us be on the show.
Thank you.
And to let you know, we are connected to veterans. My father was a veteran of World War II, Vietnam, and Korea, and he was a former post command sergeant major at Fort McClellan. And I was actually born on Noble Army Hospital, so veterans are dear to my heart. But the grant program that we're doing at Chee-Haw Bank basically provides improvements to the home for a veteran or their surviving spouse. Up to $15,000 is available. If you're a veteran of a conflict, then you can get up to $15,000. If you're not, then it's $12,500. But we do energy efficiency improvements to their home. You can help me with some of the things, Megan, but we do new roofs, wheelchair accessibility, ramps,
windows,
heating and cooling, windows, bathrooms, just about any kind of improvement.
Oh, that's the one I was going to ask you about. You do bathrooms?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of veterans that have bathtubs and not stable enough to get over in there. But and picked mine, particularly the VA did mine. Such a awesome deal in a veteran's life is having mobility problems. So y'all do the bathroom too?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
do a
sir.
lot of accessibility for veterans that need that have a wheelchair or need a ramp. We've done several ramps as well. So
they want to do a ramp to my house. I live on a patio home. Now you can imagine how. But let me tell you, I'm about this high off of the ground, and the ramp was going to be about 15 feet long because the VA has a standard of incline. You know, you can't just build a straight up ramp. It's got to slowly incline. So I'd have had about a 12, 15 foot ramp to get up about this high.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
We've experienced that before.
Yeah.
But now where'd the grant come from?
We're actually a member institution of the Federal Home Loan Bank. And so,
Chee-Haw Bank is?
Yes, sir. And so the funds are coming from the Federal Home Loan Bank. We have access to up to $1 million each year that the program is in operation. So every year we've used just about every bit of the money. We've probably helped over 250 families in our local area over the last 3 or 4 years. We probably invested about $2.5 million in the local community through this program. So it's a great program, and that's why we wanted to come on here today to let people know about it, so we can help them.
We got a flyer we can bring up in there whenever control room wants to, and it's up there now. You can see it on the screen here, and that tells us. Now this is, leave it up there just for a minute. I want to ask you about it. Is this for people buying a home or people that's veterans that's already got a home?
Well, it can be both. For the most part, we're dealing with veterans that own an existing home, and that is one of the requirements that you have to own a home.
Title.
Yeah. You don't have to own it outright. You can have a mortgage.
Can't be renting one. What I'm
correct. Have to have a home ownership, and primarily what the program is for folks that already own their home to do improvements to the house. We do have a program that I think it's on the flyer that provides down payment assistance for veterans that meet certain criteria. All of the programs that we're talking about do have income requirements. If you make more than a certain amount of money, then you're not going to qualify for the program. And that's dependent upon what county you live in. Most of the people that we help obviously are here in Calhoun County, but our footprint does expand to several other counties in our area.
Let me ask you this, I'm going to throw you a curve. What if someone wants to add on to their home, an extra room because they got a new child or got somebody else's kid moved back in with them, well, they need an extra room to their house to have somebody. A lot of times veterans have assisted living, like a family member that will provide for them, and they need an extra room. What about something like that?
Under the grant program, you can't do additions. It's only improvements to the existing structure.
That's improving.
Yeah. we do VA loans for veterans as well, where you can get money to do additions to the property.
I had I worked for the government at the depot, and we could not build new buildings, but we could add on.
Right.
So we had a small building by the side of a genuine outhouse and built a huge facility onto that.
Wow.
That building. It's just in the way it's made, but you can't add a room or anything like that. But and you said something I picked up on. It's based upon, and you jump in anytime you want to, Megan, if he's not doing it. The part about based upon their income, is there a limit on the income, or is it based on the individual?
It's on. You can, if you want to answer that, you can make it.
So there's income limits per county, and we have the ones for 2015 in place, but there will be new ones in 2016. So what we're really encouraging people to do is to go ahead and reach out to us and get, go ahead and start applying and things, and then when 2016 numbers come out, we can look at that.
We got that information here on the set too. While you're talking, it's being posted on where they can get in touch with.
Yes, sir.
To that. So you got a single veteran out there that needs some work done, and he may be drawing disability of $15,000-$16,000 a year, maybe even $20,000. Does that sound? Like
yeah, he would fit well within those requirements.
Is that right?
And it's based on the household size. So the number of people that live in the household, the higher that number is.
Wow.
And it varies from county to county.
That makes sense. And they can go to, how many banks y'all got in Calhoun County?
Well, Chehah Bank has 4 locations. Megan and I are actually in the Anniston branch. It's at 1100 Quintard Avenue, just across from the post office there. But our main office is in Chehah. It's Chehah Bank in Oxford.
Yeah.
We have a branch in Alexandria and in Jacksonville.
That's the one in front of the old sticks and stuff.
Yes, sir, on Highway 78.
Yeah, I got that. But that's it. That you said you had $1 million in the grant. Did at the beginning you say it was up to 15,000? Did you give me a price?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The grant sizes are 12,500 or 15,000. The only way you qualify for the 15,000 is if you are a veteran or the surviving spouse that served in an overseas conflict. So if you served in World War II or Vietnam or Korea or the Gulf or any of those environments, then you can get up to $15,000. If not, then it's $12,500.
Don't take this wrong, but I'm going to correct you on something. When you say the word conflict, when you say Vietnam and stuff, if you and Megan leave here and you decide you need to get a bite to eat, you want to go to Western Sizzling, she wants to go to Longhorn, that's a conflict. If you start doing bullets and stuff.
It's probably more than a conflict.
Right.
I stand corrected.
I got my own personal reasons for that, so I just
understand.
It was I was building these memorials up there on 17th and Quintard. They wanted to put Vietnam conflict, Korean conflict, and you'll go up there and look, you'll never see the word except war. When somebody's shooting at you, it's war,
Absolutely.
We got to go to a break. I'm going to come back. We're going to talk more. You stay where you are. Get you a pen. This is good info here. Stay right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issue. We're talking with the folks from Chehah Bank, and we're talking about grants, and we're talking with Alan and Megan, and how a veteran out there can qualify or get some help up to $15,000, more, but in the range of $12,500 to upgrade. Now, either one of you answer this. This is when we come up into winter months, we have problems with heat over, and the houses are not insulated properly. Is that qualify for?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Done quite a few of those. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Quite a few with insulation, to better heat the home. We've put in new heating and cooling for veterans. So yeah, any weatherization item like that you're describing would fall under the program.
Okay, and let me ask you another one then, and I'm thinking some personal things that I know some people. Electrical problems in an older home over the years, kind of dangerous is there anything like that to upgrade the electrical?
Yes, sir.
Just-
Yeah, if
Yes,
anything
sir.
that's considered a hazard like that would be something that would fall under the program.
What about the heating and cooling?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That, I'm thinking of people when I do, because people saying my heating system's going out, and I knew one lady, she's a survivor. Her husband had passed on, but she's a survivor benefits, but she was using her stove in the kitchen to heat it up, and she's making a pallet on the floor because her
Goodness.
heater had been red tagged by the gas company.
Yeah.
She didn't have the money to put in a new heater, and that's just uncalled for.
We've seen some really frustrating situations like that, and to be able to go in and see a new heating and cooling unit go into their home, and it just totally, changes their life.
Yeah.
And so we've had so many fabulous stories of people
Yeah.
who've had their whole lives changed by the improvements that have been done from the program. So
Yeah, the lady out in West Anniston, she just lost her son over in Vietnam, and she was telling me that her porch is a little shaky, and she wanted to see if I knew of anybody that could help her fix her porch. And it was a mobile home, double wide. And so I took up collection at my chapter of Vietnam Veterans one night, and went out to her house, walked up on the porch, and fell right through the porch.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
no.
And she's standing at the door, and I told you it needed some work.
Bless
was
her
serious.
heart.
I'm looking up at her, but it was only, like 4 feet. But
My goodness.
there's a lot of need out there. And I'm going to share something with you. I posted a thing on Facebook yesterday that anyone looking for a home for a veteran in need to call me, because I got a young lady that's out of JSU, inherited her parents' home, wants to give it to a veteran in
Oh,
need.
wow.
So, man, I blew up my Facebook.
I bet.
The stories that's out there. Just one is a man and his wife. He's got PTSD and depression, and he's living with his fiance's mother, and they got 3 children. And they're living, and they all share in that one room.
Wow.
The wife, the husband, and the 3 children in that one room here in Anniston, Alabama. And I had no idea, but I mean, those are the things that just blew my phone up yesterday and blew my heart open, because here, the young lady, her heart's there to say, my daddy was a veteran, my granddaddy was a veteran, my mama was in the WAC, and I want to give it to a veteran. And
That's
6
great.
acres of land and a house,
Wow.
So those kind of things. There is such a need here for that, and I won't go into all the others that these people they're coming back from Afghanistan and places like that in Iraq, and there is no place. They have no jobs, and they're just moving back in with mama and papa and grandpa, and
Right.
so something like this is not to put them in a new home, but if they're living in something that's down below standards, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
a way to get back up there and live a decent life for them.
It really is.
Absolutely.
To
Yes,
see,
sir.
for $3,000, I got a beautiful bathroom. That's what it cost me to take out a tub and redo mine handicap accessible, and so you can do a lot for $12,000-$15,000.
Again, so
Yes,
it's
sir.
a lot.
How does you got a veteran out there that's watching us right now, and they want to apply? What is they get the form, and then what do they do with it?
Well, we would encourage them to come into our location on Quintard across from the post office. Now, they can go into any of our locations.
Okay.
We have locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Alexandria, but the main one where Alan and I work is on Quintard across from the post office. And we have the application, and like I said, they can pick it up, fill it out, and there's going to be a few documents that we're going to need from them. But we really just encourage that face-to-face, where we can kind of understand their story and tell them what we think we would need.
What do
from
they
them.
need to bring with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. Some of the documents like the DD-214.
When they walk in, they need to bring
Yeah.
something. I know the DD-214's got to be there.
Yeah.
Show
Right.
that they're veteran.
Right, and then whatever type of income that they might, any other
And
type
how
of
would they
income
bring
that they
that?
might
With a
receive.
bank statement? And what
If there's a bank statement, a social security statement, just any kind of, think about the documents you get together when you prepare your taxes that just show where you get your income, just basically something like that. And of course, we would be in communication with them if there was something additional we needed or anything like that. We try to really make it a point to make relationships with these people so that we can call them up and
Would a bank statement that shows at the end of the month a line that shows Department of Veterans Affairs, like they get a disability check and you show it for $2,000, would that be acceptable to you to show in part of the income?
No, we'd still have
You
to
would
have
have
the
to have something
actual
from
the
the
actual
VA.
document that shows
Right.
they're receiving that.
All right, so
disability
that's
benefit.
what I'm gonna say. Somebody needs to go to their office at Gallatin County Department of Veterans Affairs and get them to help you pull up a letter that says
Yes.
Joe Jones is drawing 50% disability check off $2,000 a month,
Right.
whatever.
Right, yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
we'll
And
help them with that
yes,
documentation.
each case is, there might be individual circumstances with each case, and so that's why we just encourage everyone to, that's interested to show up and get an application and let us kind of look at their situation and talk to them so that they don't necessarily have to bring more information than what's needed or have to make an extra trip.
So you can meet this veteran and spouse or whatever, and you can make judgment calls there that day.
Yeah, if they have their documents with them, Megan and I can review their income documents. That's usually the main thing: is are they under the limit for their household?
Yeah.
And we can look at their income documents and determine whether they are in a pretty short period of time. So most of the time when they're there, we can meet with them and do that. Occasionally, if it's a little bit more complicated, we may have to get back to them in a couple of days, but we can review that and help them. One thing I want to do, make sure we do mention, is it is not just a veteran; it's a veteran or their surviving spouse. So we have many widows in our area that are surviving spouses of a veteran. My mother's in that position herself, and so we've helped a lot of those ladies be able to, or men, to be able to get those improvements done. So we want to make sure we emphasize that it's not just
That's
a
a great
veteran.
thing, because I have a lot of the survivors calling me, and they're not wealthy people. I can tell you that.
Right.
In most cases, let's see, the one thing I did get from my talking with you, Megan, by email, was that there was an urgency to hurry up and do this. I mean, you need to be
Yes,
don't
sir.
delay on it.
Yes, sir. It's a first come, first served basis, and we're actually going ahead and taking applications and a waiting list for 2016.
Wow.
Starting in January, we'll be able to go ahead and start pushing the applications through and getting them approved and things of that nature. But it's imperative that they go ahead and get on the waiting list and get in touch with us, because it is first come, first serve, and we do have $1 million that we can spread out over.
Can I
but it's
come by
first
and
come,
pick
first
that up
serve.
and make sure I get it to the right people? Trust me.
We'll trust you with it.
Well, we got less than a minute. What am I leaving out?
I think you've done a good job of covering it. Probably one of the biggest things is what Megan is saying. Go ahead and contact us now so we can get the ball rolling. So in January, we're able to start submitting those things as soon as possible.
This is not a one-time event for T-Haw, is it?
It's not, as long as the Federal Home Loan Bank makes the money available, then we'll be a part of the program. And so we've been doing it since 2012. So the last 3 or 4 years, it's been available. So our prayers is going to continue.
Would you tell all the folks out there at T-Haw Bank that this old veteran appreciates what they're doing, because it's something you didn't have to do it for veterans. You could have done it for Baptists.
We
I
will do
appreciate
it. Thank you so much for allowing us to be on the show.
Oh, I love it.
She's better at it than I am.
That's appreciated. I appreciate both of you coming and doing the show. We got to go to a break, come back. I got news that you can use. Stay right there. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Appreciate Alan and Megan coming in and doing the show today. It's a good program for T-Haw Bank, and we appreciate them helping out with the veterans here that's in need. And I hope that we have, by the time this goes on the air, that they're just overloaded with people that are in that use this program. We had a great Veterans Day program up in the park, and on this past Veterans Day program, Veterans Day, and if you happen to be there, then you know what I'm talking about. If you've got someone, you've seen some of the music we had up there. If you've got someone that's in the musical field and you think would be appropriate for that, give me a call. We might can use them and kind of change it around every year. And this year I had Elvis when he was 20 years old. So along with the other Ryan and the rest of them, but y'all really like that, and I'd like to change it a little bit. So, and I had the reenactors with the flag, raising the flag at Iwo Jima. Very moving experience, and everybody enjoyed that. So if you got something that would work with the program, just give me a call. I put it together, started already for Memorial Day, so just give me a shout out. If you want to get in touch with me, you got some idea, Facebook is a good place to find me. Send me a friend request and I'll accept it. The one thing I want you to remember when you watch this program, every day we lose 22 veterans for suicide. Every day, 7 days a week, 22 veterans take their own lives. And you might ask yourself why. One of them is they're against the wall. They don't know how to, they come back from Afghanistan, there's no jobs. Iraq, there's no jobs. And they're losers in their own minds, and sometimes they feel that's the best way out. So if you can help a veteran, and you need to understand what they're going through, you have to look up, Google PTSD if you have to, and find out what that's all about. Because a big percentage of them coming back from over there have post-traumatic stress. So just be thinking about that. 22 veterans every day. Every day you wake up, 22 will have killed herself. And that's, you can help a little if you can understand, once you understand what they're going through, and give them an ear to listen to and encouragement to keep going forward. That's one thing I haven't been doing I want to do is WEAC TV 24. WEAC TV 24 has given me this space for over 7 years to come to you and bring you items about veterans and veterans issues. And I used to do a program about what the legislation has passed, what legislation has passed that benefits veterans, Heroes for Hire, the driver's license, veterans identification, all those kind of things get passed, and you have no way of knowing about them unless you watch this show. So the one I want to remind you of this week is if you got a veteran that moved into town, their wife was working, say, at a big box store in Missouri, and they moved here by a set of orders, and I'm saying here in Alabama. If they've been transferred to Alabama, the wife loses their job in Missouri or wherever that they were working, she can draw unemployment benefits in the state of Alabama if they produce a set of orders showing it's transferred here. And that was just passed a couple of years ago, and that's something you need to know. You also, if you're a veteran and you have a CDL license, truck driver in the military, you don't have to get them here in Alabama. That is a good, you can have that transferred to a Alabama CDL. The same thing if you had to have electrical permit, license, and things like that, any kind of a license you had to have, Alabama will recognize it. And that's something that other states won't do, and this is just in Alabama. And I'm going to try to every week bring you some of that stuff. But we got, I want to thank Don Hobson and all the people down at Kia for what they do for the veterans. There's a big discount thing coming. We'll tell you more about that in the next few weeks. That's great that they consider veterans for discounts, and we're coming up on Christmas, Thanksgiving. I've got to run. I'm running out of time. They keep telling me in my ear. So we'll see you here next week on Veterans Issues. Salute.